All right. Good morning, folks. Might be good afternoon, depending on where you're at. I'm still in Maui, thankfully. And unfortunately, this is going to be my last 2 days here, flying out on Sunday morning. So I'm definitely going to miss this place. Been here for a month. But yes, so today is like a full circle. It's my 1 year anniversary. And so what I wanted to do was just kind of show you guys what my results were in the last 12 months. Once again, it's not to impress anyone. I'm no guru in any way, shape, or form. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. But really to just impress upon everyone the importance of just being vulnerable and having a team of people around you that want to see you succeed, that you guys are working towards a common goal. And don't be afraid of feedbacks, right? Like I always say, I have very little to no ego. I'm always a 4-year-old. I'm always curious. I want to learn. So yeah, let me start off first with the first video that I created, which was about what, 67, 68 days ago. Not the whole thing, but just a small sample to remind you guys what I mentioned regarding my goals. So let me share my screen here, and then I'll go over everything else. All right, thank you guys. Perfect. Just to give you guys a little bit of my goal, you know, I wanted to make $120,000 by November 15, 2024. And so up to today, I have made, or at least I've assigned $78,600 of assignment fees under my belt. And so I'm a little bit behind, but not that far off. And so for anyone that's new getting into, whether it's business, sales, or, you know, whatever it is, anytime you have a goal, you want to make sure that your goal is a little bit higher than that. 80% of people hit their goals 80% of the time. So my goal was to make 120, meaning my main goal for the year was to actually have $150,000 of assignment fees under my belt. Okay. And as of today, September 8th, 2024, I have $78,600 of assignment fees, like I mentioned. All right. So yeah, so that was my first day that I created a YouTube video. So I just wanted to bring that up and explain to you guys that, you know, on all my live calls, I always have flashing headlines saying $52,000 more to go, 6 to 8 days, whatever it was. So whenever I make my goals, I always my must hit and my can goal, and my can goal is always 20% higher than the must hit goal, because a mentor of mine told me once, shoot for the moon. If you miss, at least you'll land on the star, or shoot for the stars. If you miss, at least you'll land on the moon. So it's just a good way of going about it. So that said, without further ado, let me go and share my Excel sheet. All right, so hopefully this is large enough here. And by the way, guys, I'm out here in Maui, so I only have one screen. So if you're leaving a comment and I'm not seeing it right on time, apologies. I'm just working off my MacBook here. So let's go ahead. By the way, just want to know, is this large enough or should I enlarge the screen? Give me a 1 if it's all good. If you guys can see it. 2 if I need to enlarge it. All right, so just in case, I'll go ahead and do it. So right now, we have about $143,500 of assignment fees in the pipeline. Combination of JVs with Titanium folks, and then also my own deals. And by the way, all the numbers that you'll see here is just based on the deals that I did myself.
Doesn't count the other deals that perhaps Tom did when he was in his when he was in the acquisition side, or any of our other acquisition folks in the past. So this is just my personal accomplishments, or yeah. So as far as sold, I started in November 15 of last year. I didn't make my first sale, or close and funded, I should say, until March of 2024. So that is a total of 3.5 months where I didn't lock anything up or didn't close anything. And so from there, been consistent every month. And as you can see, I did a total of $97,900. So in a way, I didn't hit my $120,000 goal. However, these are the 3 deals that should have been closed and funded already, but will be closed and funded hopefully by next week. And the other one would be the first week or the second week of December. So did I hit the goal? No, but technically, if these things went through without title issues, then I would have hit my goal and would have gone $5,000 over. As far as my can goal, obviously fell short of that. But yeah, so that's how much I have been able to sign in my last 12 months. So now let's look at all the terminated ones that I did here. So as you can see, it's quite a bit, right? $327,000 of assignment fees. So I still have a lot of inefficiencies that I really need to do a honest self-inventory, not only on myself, but on our process, so that I can minimize this number and maximize this number, right? It's just part of business. Looking at some of the metrics here, the percentage that made it to the finish line as of right now, 17% made it to finish line. I still have 25% within the pipeline and 58% that didn't, right? As far as number of contracts, 50% of my contracts didn't make it to the finish line. So once again, I got to look into myself, to my process, and see what I need to do to decrease that amount. And then as far as average assignment fee per contract, 8,300 instead of the $15,000 that everyone's talking about, right? As far as the average goes. So this is where I am right now. And then just looking at my months, like I said, the first few months didn't make a single dollar. And then as you can see, every month after that, I've been pretty consistent, except for August. And there was a reason for that. Went to the World Series of Poker, stopped working for June and July. And so that's what happens. But now I know what I need to do for this year, so I don't get a zero for August. But then we joined Titanium, and right when we joined Titanium, we got a pretty big infusion of business. So that's exactly how it looks in the last 12 months. One thing that I do want to point out, though, is just the top 10 lessons that I learned. And this is something that I actually do want to take a little bit of time on. Is first one is know your why and just go. I've talked to a lot of folks who are starting, maybe are in the same situation that I am in right now, or even in a better spot. And well, actually, definitely not the better spot, but people that are in my situation or that are starting, everyone has that paralysis analysis, and everyone has a very low pain threshold. So I always say, know your why and just go, right? Why are you doing this? I know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to build a legacy, to build an empire so that I can leave that empire behind for my nephews, my nieces, my stepdaughter. And that's my why. And my why is simply way too big for any failures, trials, tribulations that happens on a daily basis. And just go. So what I mean by that is October 31st of last year, I decided, hey, I'm going to get into real estate. I have zero experience in real estate. I know nothing, none whatsoever. And so on that day, I told myself 15 days of just taking in as much content as possible, watching YouTube, talking to investors, going to meetups, whatever it was. 15 days, 14 days of just studying and learning as much as I can. But that day as well, on October 31st, I made a decision that November 15, no matter what, come hell or high water, I am picking up the phone and making my first phone call. And that was it. No self-negotiation. There wasn't like November 15, oh, I'm going to start tomorrow. No, I knew I was going to suck. I knew people were going to hang up on me. I knew people were going to tell me to kick rocks. I knew some people who are very smart and well versed in real estate is going to know that I'm an idiot, that I know nothing. But that was okay because that's part of the game, right? Once again, I went in here with zero experience. So just know where you are and be okay with it. So I just went. Next one is know when you will work. This is something that I talk to people all the time because people always call me like, hey man, I have 9 to 5 jobs. Like I haven't sold anything in the last 3 months. I'm ready to give up. I'm ready to quit. And so I was going, well, what are you doing? Where are you doing business? They're like, well, in my backyard. I'm like, okay, so you have a 9 to 5 job. You're doing business in your backyard. I'm like, are you married? Do you have kids? Like, yeah, I have 3 kids. I have full plate. So I go, so then how are you going to do your side hustle of real estate and growing this empire if all you're doing is in your backyard, you have 9 to 5, and you have a family that you got to take care of? And so what I mean by know where you will work is if you're on the West Coast, and I know some of you guys have probably seen some of my short videos, so just bear with me for a second here because it's very important for a lot of folks that haven't seen this. If you're on the West Coast and you have a 9 to 5 job, start making phone calls at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Why? That's what I did at 5:15 a.m. It's 8:15 in Florida. So why not have Florida as one of your markets, right? Toledo, Ohio. I don't care where it is, but all I know is at 5 o'clock in the morning, some of your family members may still be asleep. You've got peace and quiet. Work Florida. So what I did was 5:15 to 6:15, I'm calling Florida people. 6:15 to 7:30, I'm calling Texas. And then 8:15, and after that, I was calling West Coast states. So that was my way of going, how can I outwork everyone, right? There were other people that started with me. They all have 9 to 5 jobs. They're only going to do 2 hours a day. How can I do it where I'm having anywhere from 8 to 12 hours of just making phone calls? And then guess what? By 9:15, 10 o'clock, I would stop making phone calls. And from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., that's when I did my studying, right? That's when I would reach out to a realtor or an investor that I met up at a meetup. I will hop on a Zoom call with them, pick their brain, right? Learn things. Go on YouTube, learn from RJ, learn from Zach again, or Rick and Zach, learn from Pace Marie. I would literally just take in as much content as I can from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then I would pick up the phone and call an investor, go, hey man, I just learned this thing. Like, can you explain this to me? And whatever I learned, I would try to apply. Guess what? From 2 to 8 p.m. Why am I making phone calls again at 2:15? Well, I'm in California. 2:15 p.m. equals 5:15 in Florida. People are home now. People are going to pick up my phones. Especially back then, I was doing a lot of cold calls, right? So from 5:15, I did it again from 5:15 to 6:15, Florida. 6:15 to 7:15, Texas. Anything after 7 o'clock, California, right? So I did it that way. So now I'm working from 5 a.m. till 8 p.m. at night, and which about 4 hours of those were just studying time. So know where you'll work doesn't necessarily have to be your backyard. That's the beauty of having a virtual wholesaling business. Fall fast and fall forward goes back to what I did on October 31st. I made a decision that November 15th, I'm going to make a phone call no matter what. I didn't care about falling. I didn't care about failing. I just wanted to fail as quickly as possible. And I wanted to fail forward, right? Just continuously learning. The more failures you have, the more lessons you'll have, the quicker you're going to get out of that ramp period and get into a point where every small changes you make in your business will give you an exponential amount of return. Get your own market feedback. This is something that is very important that I really want to spend a little bit of time on. So sometime in December, I got introduced to the creative financing world, PaceMore, which is awesome. By the way, I learned a lot, great community. But I also realized that it slowed me down. Why? Because I haven't mastered the cash deals yet, right? I haven't mastered the most basic. And then I went into kind of like the PhD of real estate, right? Creative financing. So then I started watching other influencers like King Kong, Zach, and Rick, right? All these guys. And then RJ Bates, I got Eric Klein. And then I got introduced to RJ Bates sometime in January. And that's when it hit me. I go, holy crap, this guy is the simplest way to go about it. It's quick. I'm not talking to freaking scientists, lawyers. I'm talking to just a regular Joe Schmo that's looking to sell a house and we're looking to buy. And so for me, RJ just resonated with me. And literally as soon as I saw his first short video, I just followed his formula the very next phone call. And that took me to the next level. So where am I going with this? Get your own market feedback. So I still remember this, February 17, I'm sitting at the bleachers watching my nephew's volleyball game. And I saw two of RJ's short videos. One was the 50-day challenge, 50 states in 50 days. And then also a short video on one called Close. And it hit me. When I was in the insurance game, that's what I did. I used to door knock. And for us, it was selling at will. It doesn't matter what your goal was. By the end of the week, you got to hit your goal. So you got to sell at will. If it takes you being on a kitchen table with a husband and wife at 10 p.m., guess what? You got to do it. If it takes you knocking on 20 doors today and 50 doors tomorrow to make a sale, guess what? You're going to knock on those extra 30 doors. And so once again, it resonated with me. So February 17, I realized I've been following way too many different people with different styles. And guess what? They're all successful in their own right. So that means, right, that told me one thing. Each one of them, each one of their process works. But I don't have a process. I don't have my market feedback. And they know it works because they stuck with their own process. So that day, I phoned my business partner, Austin, and I said, Austin, I know we've only known each other for a few months, and you don't know the old Caesar, but February 20, which is come Monday, old Caesar's coming back. I'm locking up a deal, one deal a day. And he's like, well, they better be priced right. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't care if it's priced right. I don't care if quote unquote manufacturing deal. I don't have any market feedback. So I don't even know if I'm pricing them correctly. This was obviously before the profit calculator from RJ Bates to the Titanium family. So I just didn't know anything. So I said, screw it. Let's just fall fast and fall forward. So in those 23 days, I locked up 17 deals. Out of those 17 deals, I ended up selling four of them made to the close and funded. So I learned a lot. I learned how to underwrite. I learned what worked, what didn't work. I learned what manufacturing a deal meant. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys is don't be afraid to make mistakes, right? Everyone's afraid to make a $10,000 mistake where they're phoning everyone asking whether they should lock it up or not. Who gives a shit? Lock it up. You're going to learn so much from that one deal that even if it didn't make you any money, that lesson that you learned from that is going to make you a whole lot more later. So stop asking and just start locking up deals and you'll learn quickly. Join a team. This is so crucial, man. I don't think I would be here. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I will be here because I'm just stubborn enough and I just refuse to quit. But I got here a lot quicker and a lot easier with my team, Austin Wilson, and Tom Hagman, because of them, right? Because we had a common goal every day. Didn't matter what our failures were, we still kept moving forward. So join a team. Join a team for many reasons. If you got capital and you want to learn quick, join, I don't know, Titanium, Creative Finance. I don't care who you guys join someone that resonates with you and learn as quickly as possible. If you're someone like me who did this without a job, with no capital, very little to no capital, I couldn't buy leads. I couldn't do any of these. So lucky enough, I met Austin, and Austin saw something big in me, and we partnered up. He had the capital, and I traded my time, my experience, my grit, and my hustle for those leads, right? So there's ways to make money, guys. If you can't afford leads, find people who have leads, and then just trade your time. That's what you got to do now to survive, and that's what you got to do. Get better, and then be your own guy, or end up being partners with them. So that's something that's very important. Next one here. Continue to be a 4-year-old. Dude, guys, always be curious, right? Don't ever think you know everything. Mentor, well, actually, Mrs. Uline once said, if you're not growing, you're dying. So always be a 4-year-old. Ask why. Who cares? Don't ever think you're stupid, right? Because if you're asking why, guess what? There's 1,000 other people asking why. So you might as well learn. Learn how to close cash deals first. So that's what I did. I was very thankful for my friend, Michael Magenheimer. I don't know if you're listening, but hopefully you'll watch this later. He really pointed me to the right directions, got me to meet the right people, got me looking into creative financing, pace mortgage, and so forth. And I went on a 30 days where I was just studying creative financing, and every phone call, that's all I was doing. And then I didn't close anything. I didn't close anything for 2 months. And so is that a knock on Pace and his community? Absolutely not. It's just, that's just like, like the college level, PhD level of real estate, right? And I still didn't know how to close a cash deal. So just know where you are, keep it simple, learn how to do the cash deals first. Once you've mastered that, then start going into novations, start going to creative financing. Does it mean you turn away from those deals? No, but connect yourself with people who are closers, right? Who are great at novations, right? Who are great at creative financing. So in that way, when you're across the table or you're on the phone with someone and you think it's a creative financing deal or innovation deal, at least you know who to send it to. It's okay to get 50% of something versus 100% of nothing, right? So learn the most basic ones and then start graduating to the more creative deals. Next one, follow RJ Bates and why. For me, I would say follow RJ Bates because he made this business as simple as possible. Might not be as sexy as the other ones, but it's simple and it works. And for me, that's all I care about. Does it mean that's who you follow? I don't know. Maybe you're more of a Pace Morby guy or an Eric Klein, right? Like follow one that resonates with you and just go with it. But one thing that I will say about RJ Bates and the Titanium community is that it really is a family. We're here. I mean, I'm being vulnerable right now. A lot of other folks have been vulnerable, sharing their struggles, and people were just jumping to help. I don't think RJ's fee it's probably the least expensive out of everyone. But the value that you get out of it, RJ and Cassie are on calls every day, their team. It's just well worth it, man. And I'm saying that you're probably going, Caesar, you only have 12 months of experience. How do you know? Well, I've got other folks in that community who's been in the business for 20, 30 years, and they also say it's the best investments they've made so far. So it's there. Charles, are those monkeys and birds in the background? Yes, they are. Not monkeys, but birds. Next one I have here. Go to meetups and learn how end buyers make their money. Yes, this is very, very important. A lot of people go to meetups And they're like, yeah, no, I have an end buyer. Oh, I just added another end buyer in my contact list, which is great. But if you don't know how they make their money, then how do you know you're going to send them good deals? They might send you their buy box. They might send, some of them are highly organized and they'll send you an Excel sheet. Learn how to use their Excel sheet. Learn, what makes sense. So that way, not only your audience, but how to market your deals. Uh, One of the best things that I got from Titanium is their profit calculator, because it showed me how the end buyers make their money, who my audiences were, and how to market my deals. So that's just very, very important, guys. Like, know your end buyers, how they make their money, because at the end of the day, they're your clientele. They're your clients, not the seller, but the end buyers. The seller is a one-time deal unless they have multiple deals, but your buyers are the ones that's going to continue to buy from you. So know your audience, know your customers. And then lastly, inbound leads and FSBOs. So in the beginning, I did a lot of cold calling. So I spent money on skip tracing, running, stacking, the whole shebang, which is fine because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted people to tell me to kick rocks. I wanted people to hang up on me and so forth and so forth. I still think that's a good way of going about it. But the only issue that I had with it is that a lot of times there were wrong phone numbers, wrong email addresses. I couldn't get a hold of anyone. I'm picking up the phone, and the next thing you know, 2 to 3 hours pass by, and I still haven't gone to bat yet. So I switched and I just went on FSBOs, for sale by owners, because at that point I didn't have any money. So I was like, all right, FSBOs. And I found out that all of their phone numbers, about 95% of them were correct. So I got to talking to people. So I did FSBOs, anything that wasn't moving for 60 days and more. And then you can start locking up deals that way. Now, as far as inbound leads go, I didn't know this back then. I know it now. If you have $200 or even $300, you can get 10 leads right off the bat. You don't need thousands of dollars to get leads. So I wish I had known that back then, because at least I had $300. So I definitely could have locked up more deals a lot quicker. That being said, once again, you can follow everyone else, but if you want to learn how to close quickly, start watching RJ's videos, learn the King Closers formula, start watching our lives. We do live calls every day. Me, Brandon Clark, Tyler Osborne, the Titanium family. We're not trying to be gurus. We're not YouTubers trying to grow our channel. We're simply doing this to provide a platform for new folks, for people that are still in the beginning phase of their business. It's just a platform to inspire you to pick up that phone, and make that one more phone call for the day, right? So that's what it's there for. And then for some of you folks that are maybe in that paralysis analysis stage, if you don't have the leads, you don't want to make phone calls yet because you don't want to waste your dollars on those leads, hop on the live with us, right? If you don't want to make those calls, we'll do role plays. I'll be more than happy to take 15 minutes aside. We'll do a quick role play. We'll look at an address. I'll be the seller. You'll be the buyer, and practice that way, right? Get those butterflies out. So last but not least, guys, I always say I'm a firm believer of ready, fire, aim approach. You've got everyone that you can watch. We're providing you guys live calls, providing you guys content. And so you already have the information. Start firing. Stop thinking about how to aim. Just fire. Guess what? You're going to miss anyway. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up. You're going to learn lessons. So you might as well fire as quickly as possible and start aiming and re-aiming, to get better. Where did you buy 10 leads for $300? Bro, you can go to Speed to Lead. They have $29 per lead on the coupon club. $300. That's 10 leads. And then one last thing that I do want to talk about, guys, and then I'll open up for questions, remarks. Am I happy? Yes, because I came into this business with zero experience. I'm happy because I've had plenty of struggles, which is going to make me stronger and give me a longer career than someone that's getting lucky in the beginning. I play a lot of cards. You guys probably know this already. Play poker, and the worst thing that can happen to a poker player is winning big the first few games because they think it's easy and they just crashes, right? So I'd rather go through the struggles in the beginning, and then in that way, I can sustain the blows. But really, what I'm very happy about is that I just broke the 9 to 5 shackles. Right, I decided that I'm not gonna work, and I'm just gonna do this, burn the ship, so to speak, no turning back. That's what I'm really happy about because that is very difficult for a lot of people. Am I satisfied? Oh, hold on. Charles said drop the speed to lead link. It's actually on the description. So if you just scroll down, you guys will have my affiliated link. I don't get a whole lot. I might get a free lead out of it. Am I satisfied? Absolutely not, man. I used to make a whole lot more than what I made this year. A lot of struggles throughout the year. Still struggling, in my opinion. And I'm still not meeting my $50,000 a month. So am I satisfied? Heck no, which makes me very dangerous. And I'm looking forward to 2025 for that. So yeah, so I'm still growing. We'll continue to help others grow, inspire others through committing to really making these imperfect actions in front of all of you guys, right? And like I said before, not only to provide you guys platform, but please, I'd love feedbacks from you guys. Let me know where those small hinges that can swing the big doors, where I can improve, right? Because I want to get there as quick as possible too. You folks that I do want to thank. I know it's not like I've won everything and I'm there, but I do want to thank my partners, Austin Wilson and Tom Hagman, because they stuck around. We've gone through a lot in the last 12 months, but we never lost faith and we still believe in each other. So that's awesome. Michael Magenheimer, buddy, from the tech industry, pointed me the right directions, got me to meet the right people. So that's awesome. Helen, my first business partner, learned a lot from her. She's actually the one that taught me the everyone's afraid to make a $10,000 mistake. Just make the goddamn mistake and learn, you know? And I've said this many times throughout this call. RJ Bates, the Titanium family, you guys rock. Thank you for everything. Keep doing what you guys doing. You guys are helping a lot of people, and my only hopes for me to pay it forward. Obviously, my family for the support because they're like, "Holy crap, are you really not gonna work?" But my mom just looked at me and goes, "Well, you're smart, you're stubborn, so just don't give up and give it 100%." You know, one of my best friends, I don't know if she's watching, but she never lost hope or she never lost belief in my ability to succeed. And I gotta tell you, man, that shit helps. Find people who believe in you, who can give you positive affirmations every day, especially when you're down. That helps because there's got to be many times and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? So just having someone there for my rock, who's unfortunately no longer my rock, but I thank her for being my rock and for deciding to not be one anymore, because that definitely adds fuel. And then for my stepdaughter, Teresa, she's always been an inspiration. This girl decided to stop college, start her own business. She looked at me dead in my eyes and go, give me 12 months and I'll figure it out. And I told her, I said, I'm going to give you 12 months. I don't care if you make money, but I just need you to show me that you eat, sleep, sweat your business. If you do that, I'll keep supporting you and providing any knowledge that I have as far as business goes. And now she is her own business. She's got her own business. She's making things happen and she's not buried in student debt. So very, very proud of her. And she's actually one of my number one inspirations. The reason why I haven't given up, because I go, hey, that 19-year-old girl, 20-year-old at that time, if she had the cojones to make it happen and continue to do it, there's no way in the hell I'm going to let her beat me. So thank you, Teresa. I really do appreciate it. Other than that, guys, I'd love to hear some feedback from you guys. If you guys have any questions, Dale is a premium deal, speed to lead, $700 worth it. I don't know. I don't know what that deal is. Probably a package deal. A lot of folks have said great things about it. At the end of the day, if you can afford to spend $700 and you get a good amount of leads, do it. But please learn the closer's formula, because it will give you a higher chance of closing those leads. What's my next year goal? Hyro, man, my next year goal is to just get $50,000 of assignment fees every month as quickly as possible and as consistent as possible. That is it. I know a lot of folks look at KPIs, and I should. Not gonna lie, that's I know that's one of my inefficiencies. But for me, the only KPI that matters the most is how much goes into my bank account. And so I just gotta make those $50,000 of assignment fees every month, man. So that is it. Other than that, if you guys don't have any other questions, I just want to say that, if my videos help you grow or at least inspire you to do just more, to make that one more phone call, love it if you guys smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Once again, I'm a wholesaler and real estate investor, not necessarily a YouTuber. This is simply just a platform to help people inspire others. So if you guys smash that like button, subscribe, I'm sure it'll help other folks, and that's really the ultimate goal. Dale, how old am I? Damn, bro, it's quite an interview here. No, man, I am 42. Charles, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Just like I said, just trying to pay it forward from RJ and everyone else that helped me grow and inspire me to keep going. All right, guys. I guess it's been 37 minutes. I actually wanted this to be about 30 minutes long. Hopefully this is great. Let me know. You guys have my information there. Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram. Ask questions, feedbacks, please. I'd love some feedbacks. If you guys do want, little shameless plug, if you guys do want a JV with us, I do have a team. I've got a dispo folks. We do have cartel mode for investor lift. Now, that being said, just because we have investor lift cartel mode doesn't mean we close every deal, right? We just upgraded to the full cartel mode this month. So we've got a lot more buyers. But just to let you know, our dispo guys, they make phone calls, 100 dials a day. They don't wait for people to inquire on our properties. They just pick up the phone and call all the buyers surrounding that subject property. Cool, man. All right, guys, have a good one. Happy Friday, happy hunting. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys back on Monday, back in the mainland.